What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the
Don't Tell Mom podcast.
Podcast. Let's whine about it. I like that shirt.
You like that? I figured it was appropriate. Today's election day, so let's whine about it.
That's funny. Funner.
Hey, at least you're optimistic.
Funner.
I'm very pessimistic today, but it's going to be an interesting day. Cullen, how you doing? How's your week been? I ain't seen you all week, you know.
Busy as hell, trying to get stuff done, touching up around the house, getting all that stuff done, repainted the garage, and
wow, you repainted the garage.
Yeah, you know.
What for?
Gotta make it look good.
That's right. Them fancy neighborhoods, they like that. They like all those little touches done.
Yes,
So what's the deal? Have you, what are you saying? Out loud.
Nothing yet. Okay. We're still in the process of everything.
Just
trying to get it all done. No, there's really, nothing finalized yet.
Okay.
But still getting some lookers. So
getting some looky-loos.
Being optimistic in that way.
Hopefully they're not just kicking tires and you get
and
you get out of this thing.
What was the total number? I think it was, last we checked, was 70 something since January. 70 showings since January.
Where you got to pack it up and move the dogs, the kids, the cats, everybody out of the house. We got a looky-loo coming.
We had one this morning, and luckily they just left, and so I was able to switch the dogs off. The timing worked off great with Katie. I met up with her, and we were able to eat some lunch, and then switch the dogs out. I was about to bring them over here. I was like, I guess I'm just going to take our little pups over here with you, but it worked out good. Okay. How you been doing?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there, another week down.
You got your legal alien in here?
I got Corey back. Yeah, he's home safe, and he's working. Yeah, back to work. They didn't waste any time putting him back to work, so he's down in North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that. I don't even know anymore. But he's doing a good job. It's a pretty good one. I'm just trying to keep up with my girls.
Yeah, we got a scavenger over here on the monitor.
I'm watching The Nest right now, and Sophia's up in her room. And here's what's going on, folks. She is climbing out of her crib, and I thought I had it figured out. I put her in a sleep sack that you had. I think we talked about this before, that you and Katie had given us. And so that was working. She was in the sleep sack. She couldn't get her legs to climb out anymore. And so she was just giving up and going to sleep. Well, now she has figured out how to remove the sleep sack. So,
oh my gosh.
Give her an obstacle. She's going to overcome it. So
I think we asked for comments one time about this, and somebody suggested the net and the spikes underneath the outside of the crib for her to fall on.
No. Oh God, that'd be messy.
No.
So we've talked about doing the tent. It's like $60, and every time I look at it, I'm like, is this thing worth the money? Like, am I going to get it and it's going to fail, and then I'm out $60, and she's just going to figure out how to pop the thing off?
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, what's
me and Katie
deal?
were talking about it at lunch. We kind of touched on it before we started filming, and Katie was like, I was like, she's so young though still. Like, she should still technically be in a crib. And I don't remember our kids having this issue. I remember they tried at some points here and there, but it was like the wrath of the parents. Oh God, no, don't do that. And then
y'all must have a scarier voice than I do.
I know.
I come over the intercom and I'm like, no, don't you crawl out of that crib. And she just she just goes harder in the yard. So.
But Katie said, maybe it is time for her to convert. I'm like, oh, could you imagine? Because does she say when she's ready to get up or?
She can't talk yet. She's 19 months old.
That's the thing. Does she even say mama or
I mean, yeah, she'll say mama or dad, but she's just says it randomly. There's no rhyme or reason of the things she says. She'll just we'll be sitting there having lunch. She'll be like, ear. It's like, yeah, that's your ear. Good job. I do have her, because I don't know how to do this, y'all. I'm a first time mom here. I don't know how to teach somebody how to talk. You know what I mean? Just do it. Don't you understand me? But I've been watching this girl on YouTube that's just super friendly lady, and teaches toddlers how to talk. That's her thing. Oh. So she's and this is what I love about her. She's teaching me how to sign too. She has more.
We did that with
milk,
the kids. Yeah.
And then we got eat.
Yeah.
And she'll point at her mouth and go eat. So Sophia can now say eat after watching her, and she can say more. She actually did this and said more for the first time last night.
That's
just
exactly
once,
what we did with Gaines and Brooks.
Yeah,
they'd be sitting over there, and half the time I couldn't tell, but Katie could. She was like, because Brooks would start doing this, and then he would just start throwing his food. And I'm like, is he saying more, or is he just not hungry anymore? But no, that's the way that they start by doing this.
I needed some help, so I went to the YouTube. Thank God for YouTube.
Good.
What did our parents do? How are we even speaking right now? But
I know.
There's this girl, and she likes her well enough. I mean, she doesn't like her as much as this other girl, Diana, is a little girl. I think they're Russian or something. And oh boy, they got her early. But I don't know if y'all have heard of this girl. Her name's Diana, and I can't figure out how to like block this girl from our YouTube. Like, I'm over it because she's got a little attitude, and she's this spoiled little girl, and she's like, no. And she'll snap her finger and she'll go, like this with her little, and it's like not English because the kids don't speak English. So they're just like making these little sounds like, ooh, and like a lot of editing and like pop.
So she shows up in your recommended all the time?
Yeah, well, Sophia loves her. So Sophia found her one day, and then that's the one she goes to all the time. It's this little girl, this little blonde girl, and her brother and her dad, who's obviously the one that's like doing all this stuff for her. And he does the editing, like makes stuff animated and whatever. But she's just very sassy. And so Sophia's getting real sassy, and she starts doing these little Diana things, and she'll be like, She'll go, no, like that.
Gosh.
And it's like, you can tell it's like a American voiceover on the little Russian girl. I don't know. It's crazy.
We hear Gaines overhear Gaines watching some of that where there's like the role play stuff with these two little girls, and they're doing it with Barbies or whatever, and it's like, will you come to my party? No, I don't want to. You're kind of stupid looking. And we like from the other room, we're like, hey, I don't like that. You need to turn it to something else. But I do like it. I don't care. They're being very rude to each other, and we don't like that. Turn it to something else. And it's either that, you give her the choice. You can change it, or you can lose your iPad, or you can give me your iPad.
Right, one or the other. We don't play. Okay. I like it. Okay, I need more tips like this, Cullen, because I don't know what to do.
Give them a choice to where they feel like they're still in control. So it's almost like the two choices you give her, or you give your kids, are ones that are for your benefit and theirs, but you're controlling the situation, but they feel like they're in control of the situation. So it's like in the morning,
trickery.
In the morning when Brooks doesn't want to get dressed, it's either like, you can get dressed by yourself, or I can help you get dressed. So the end goal is getting him dressed. Right,
but he doesn't give the option to say no. It's not like, hey, do you want to get dressed? No. Okay, and then off to my next thing.
So as a parent, I want you to get dressed. How can I say that? But with Katie all the time, you can either get dressed or I can help you get dressed. Which do you choose? And he says, I want you to help me get dressed. Okay, fine. I'll help you get dressed. And we get dressed and everything's fine.
That's
Otherwise,
smart.
It's, do you want to get, or let's get dressed now. No, I'm not ready to get dressed. And it's a chase around the house for 20 minutes. And then you're fighting. And then he's in a pissed off mood. We're yelling at each other. But then there's some days where it's like,
they feel like they won because they got to pick what they wanted.
Exactly. You can go to the potty now, or I can help you go to the potty. And he's like, I'll go to the potty by myself. And so then it's even a double win because I don't want to help you go to the potty anyway necessarily.
He's a big boy. He can do it himself.
So giving them those choices.
I feel like she's too young. Like I just feel like she's so young, Cullen, for all these things that are happening. I'm like, you're just too young. And sometimes I'm like, oh, you get a lot more than you lead on to get.
Yeah,
like sometimes I think she's got the wool all over my eyes.
She is definitely a lot smarter than she's showing out to be.
She's getting me.
So I'm trying to think of a way. I would definitely look into the toddler bed, and then that way you can. I
think it's time. I think Corey will probably build it for her, but maybe, I don't know. It might be cheaper just to buy one at this point. We've built both the cribs, and neither one of them are being used right now. So
and who knows? She may just. I think when the repetition of climbing out of a crib, that's just her way to say, I want more space.
Right.
Because I'm thinking like you, like if she's climbing out of a crib, what's going to stop her even more from climbing out of a toddler bed?
Now she can open doors too. So that's scary. I mean, we've got the little door things not over her room yet, but I need to do that actually. Put the little doorknob blockers, which I hate those. God, those are so annoying. But like last night, so nap time's out the window, bedtime's out the window. She does what she wants. I mean, I don't even know. I have no idea how to control this heathen. So last night it's 10 o'clock at night and she's still downstairs with me, and I've taken her up to put her down to go to sleep 3 times, but I'm scared. But she starts climbing out, and I run up there and get her, and I'm like, because I don't want her to hurt herself. And so then I'll be like, okay, you can come downstairs, but we're going to be quiet. And so she'll come downstairs and she'll be real good and she'll lay in bed and she'll pull the blanket up. And I'm like, we got to close our eyes, go to sleep. I'll let her like watch some tunes or, whatever. And she'll be good for a little bit. And then she'll forget that she's supposed to be good. And she'll get up and she's ready to party. And then she'll like start to get off the bed, like she's gonna go climb down and go do something, and I'm like, no, ma'am, it's quiet time. We're going to sleep, or you're going upstairs. And as soon as I say upstairs, she crawls back up and gets back under the covers. Like, no, she knows what upstairs means. That means you're going back to your crib. So I don't know if she hates the crib or she hates being away from me, but she won't sleep next to me. And like if I, like last night, I took her out and I laid her in her cuddle corner. I was like, do you want to sleep outside the crib, baby? You can sleep out here. And then the second I go to leave the room, she's, and she runs after me like she's scared or she doesn't, so I don't know. And then sometimes I put her in the cuddle corner.
Have you tried the whole because Brooks has kind of regressed sometimes recently, and Katie literally has to lay up there with him, and like she literally will sing songs. She does the routine: read books, sing songs. That's what it used to be: read books, sing songs, walk out of the room. He's still wide awake. Kiss goodnight. Let him fall asleep on his own,
right?
Because he gets better sleep and better routine, better. But recently, it's like. She literally stays up there for about 20 minutes, and it's so funny watching her on the nest because she's like trying to just creep out of the room
like a ninja.
And then one day he woke up the other day and it hit him that he woke up in the middle of his sleep or something and came downstairs in the middle of the night
that's begun,
and was like, I woke up and I forgot to tell you bye. I realized I never got to tell you bye because he fell asleep.
Oh, is that not the cutest
And
thing
so
ever?
now he won't go to sleep. It's kind of like flipping and flopping. So there's days where she sleeps with him or lays until he falls asleep for about 20 minutes. And you can tell because he'll start twitching. And I've done it a couple times before where I'm laying with him. But no, it's just like testing the different things to try to figure out. But I think the
What's
crib is kind of,
How did you get your kids? So if y'all don't know this, she's just sleeping by the door. If y'all don't know this, or we haven't said, I don't know if we've talked about it before, but y'all have come up with this brilliant idea where you have your kids a red light, green light in their room. And they're not allowed to come downstairs in the morning until you turn the green light on. So it stays red. So how did you train them to do that? That's what I need to figure out. Like you can stay upstairs, you can get out of your bed, but you can't come downstairs.
Yeah, because so our monitors, the base of the monitor in their rooms have a night light on it, or you can change it to red or blue, I think it is, or no light. And so it used to be free for all in the morning. When they would wake up, they would just come straight down as soon as they woke up.
Whenever they wanted.
5:30, 6:30, whatever. And then we would have to try to get ready in the midst of all that, and then taking care of them, and them rolling around in the bed with us, and this, that, the other. Then it was like, okay, y'all cannot come downstairs until we say you can come downstairs. Y'all can stay upstairs and play by yourselves. Well, that turned into one waking up before the other getting crazy and banging on drums and beating on the wall and waking the other one up. And then, or they would wake up at the same time and then just be at each other.
Man.
I don't want you in my room. Get out of my room. Give me that toy back. Blah, 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 blah. Because the initial thing was like, we can't just keep having them come down at any given time in the morning when we still need like at least 30 minutes to an hour to drink our coffee, get ready,
right,
wake ourselves up, blah, blah, blah.
It's a lot.
And so then once the fighting started, it was like, okay, when you wake up, you are not allowed to leave your room until the light on your monitor changes a certain color. And it's always the same time. There's some mornings, depending on how early they wake up.
Well, how old were they when they started to understand what that meant? Like for you to say, hey, this is a light, and then it's this color. I mean, did it take, like Brooks?
Brooks, it was about a year ago, I think, maybe.
So he was 3.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, it's so funny, too, because it's like unleashing the herd of elephants as soon as that light turns red. When what's funny though is like
you hear him coming.
Yeah, just on side the quote is just on the other side of boredom is creativity. They'll be so bored in their rooms because they know that they can't play with each other because of their consequence or their punishment of y'all fight when y'all are together in the morning. But Gaines needs a little more time to wake up in the morning. Brooks is ready to just balls to the walls.
He's wide open, yeah.
And so it doesn't work. So what happens is Brooks will get his little snack in the morning. We slide a Nutrient bar under his door after he falls asleep at night, half unwrapped, and so he's got a snack in the morning.
It's like you've got food.
Yeah, you've got food and you got a snack to tie you over till you come down and then have the real breakfast. But he'll end up getting in his closet. He's got like a little setup in his closet or in his bathroom, or find a corner in his room with his toys and stuff, and just imaginative play for like however long. His light will have already changed red for like 30 minutes sometimes, and he doesn't realize it because he's so in his own world.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah,
for
and
him.
then Gaines in the meantime's already been down for 30 minutes, and he comes down. And he's just like, do. But everybody's in a better mood. Mommy and Daddy are dressed. Well, Mommy has half the time. I'm just waking up. But
Cullen doesn't need much.
So, yeah, it's been very beneficial. But there's other days where it's just like literally they're standing there watching the light. And as soon as the light turns red, you hear them from like across the house. My light turned red. It's like Christmas every day. And then they come running down.
Oh, that's awesome. That's like, I don't know. I just think that's brilliant. I'd never heard of that, obviously, until you had told me that that's what y'all do. And I was like, God, that's so smart. Like, give me a minute. Because right now, I mean, she's so little, but she wakes up and she starts like whining. Sometimes she'll lay there in the mornings and just kind of hang out and talk to herself. But most of the time, she's like ready to get out of her crib. And she's wet, and so I go up and get her first thing. Like, I'll hear her over the monitor, and that usually wakes me up. And then I'll go upstairs and I'll get her, change her, bring her downstairs, and we have cartoon and cuddles. So she gets right back in bed with me, and we cuddle. And now that the new baby is there too, she does not like that, but I'll get her up and changed, and we'll all cuddle. The three of us will cuddle. We'll FaceTime with Daddy if he's out of work, out of town for work. And then, like, they can usually, we'll put the cartoons on, and they usually kind of sit there and just hang out and real calm, drink bottles or whatever. And then I'll get up and I'll go make my coffee and let Booger out and all this stuff. So I've got like this little routine. But then Dad comes home if he's been out of town. Like, it's real calm in the mornings when it's just me. And then he comes home, and she's changed in a week's time. If he's gone for work for a week or 2 weeks, it's like she's changed so much. I don't really notice it as much as he does. He's like, oh my gosh, she's like bigger and can say more, and she's smarter and all this stuff. But so he comes home, and he's like a morning person. Like, he's all about it. He's ready to get up. I mean, most of the times we'll cuddle and stuff, but he's ready to go. And so when he's there, it's like the girl, both of them. I mean, Sophia, obviously, but she's like wide open in the mornings when Corey's there. Like, she's ready to play. She's like, she's a different child when he's home because, it's Dad's home. Woo, we're going to make breakfast. And like, he has a different routine. He loves eating breakfast where I don't really eat breakfast. Instead of just cuddling and like, I'll go sneak my coffee in there and kind of drink my coffee while we're cuddling. He's like, time to get up, and he'll go outside and he'll put her in her chair, and he'll like, dinner and a show. He'll be dancing. He'll be dancing around, and they'll be listening to music and cooking breakfast, and it's this production,
How's her mood throughout or I guess you wouldn't necessarily know unless you know to look for it. Think about how her mood is when she just does the cartoon and cuddles versus when she just gets up and has an immediate activity. As soon as she wakes up, there were mornings when the kids would come down, we would change their lights red. But before we changed their lights red, Katie would have like, I don't know, tape on the ground
for them to color.
For them to, we'll just peel off tape, or she'd have like masking tape just stuck in different places on the wall, and show them how to rip it off, or those little puff balls, or the little felt balls or whatever, with a shoebox with different size holes. And so they would come down, and it was like a Christmas gift, even though it wasn't, because, and again, yours is so much younger, it's hard to tell, but
yours were this age at one point.
They were, and I
don't remember.
I can't remember necessarily. I just remember the most recent times we realized, we got another one here.
Yeah, go ahead.
We realized in the most recent times, the watching the screen, or the screen time as soon as they woke up, would just put them in a whole different mindset, and would mess up their sleep routines and patterns and stuff like that. And although Saturday mornings we say iPad is all yours, but Monday through Friday, oh hey, did I scare you? She looked at me and said, "Boo."
I'm sorry, guys. We have a third host today. She was sleeping. She was doing good sleeping, though, wasn't she? She had FOMO.
Hello.
But Sundays y'all have church, right? So you
Sundays we do church.
So you still have some kind of schedule throughout the whole week, even on the weekend.
Yes, and the older they've gotten, Katie's got this little Velcro calendar up on the pantry wall, and so it's like school buses. And so you can take the school bus off after the day's over and put a check mark up. The consistency of a routine or a schedule, letting the kids see that, like, okay, this many more days until, and then there's a church, or this many more days and then there's a swimming pool, or this. They see that coming up and they know there's something to look forward to. Has been so life-changing as far as the routine. And then when the school started back recently, just the nighttime routine of, like, as soon as we get done, no more TV time, because again, it puts them in a mood. Yeah. Like they get in this just weird mood.
That's the screen time thing.
Yeah, the screen time thing. Now, when they come home from school, they haven't obviously had screen time that much unless they're doing stuff on their iPads at school or their whatever. And so we let them just veg out for a few minutes. But we've even said, like, at 4 p.m., no more snacks, because we've realized, like, at 5 p.m. and we're going to eat dinner at 6 or whatever, and I want a snack. So they know how to tell numbers now. So we're like, when that number right there turns to 4, snacks are done.
That's it.
And then when that number turns to this, iPads are done. And y'all go outside, find an activity to do, this, that, and the other. So, yeah, it's the consistency.
The scheduling. I mean, I remember y'all are the ones that told me, like, get her on a schedule when Sophia was little. Like, as soon as possible, get her on a schedule. And I had her on one. She had her naps.
And then that second baby comes, and it's and then hard to manage.
Well, no. She was on naps, and then she's been so good about, like, 7 to 7. She has slept every night. I mean, she slept through the night since she was little bitty, and it's been great. We were so blessed. I have friends that are like, how do you do it? You know what I mean? Like, I'd put her down at 6:30 with her bottle, and she'd be asleep by 7, and she would sleep until 7 the next morning, and it was great. And I thought that I was going to have it like that forever, and now I don't anymore. Like, is
she trying to climb in the crib?
I put it, we're watching her on the nest right now, and I've cut her loose in her room, which I don't do this very often, where I just let her hang out up there.
But again, this is that, like, personal, just
her space
by herself.
She needs to.
She has the option for a screen right there if she wants it, but, like, she's just chilling.
Not interested in the iPad. Yeah. Well, I've put the chair up so she can, like, climb down. If she was going to climb out of her crib, she could, like, at least if she got over the ledge, and she'd have a step stool down so she didn't just face plant. And I put a big teddy bear down there in case she did fall. She could fall on the teddy bear, which she's sleeping on right now. But now she's, like, bored. She's trying to get back in her crib. So I think toddler bed is definitely going to
toddler bed gives you the safety factor for sure of rolling out and busting her face, and then the ability for you to go up and just sit by her if you need to, and get her used to not having to come down and be attached at your side all the time, and that be her space and her area. Because I've found with our kids, like, everybody loves their little space. Like, your bed is like, when you go out of town, it's like, I can't wait to get back to my own bed.
Right.
So, yeah.
Or like the little cuddle corners, like the little attic rooms that are like under the stairs.
That's what the kids do with their closets. They make those their little, like, secret hideouts, and they got their little Ninja Turtles and their little G.I. Joes, and Gaines has their little unicorns, and they're all doing different
her hideout spot
things. Yeah. But
everybody loves a good hideout. That's
I'd be interested to see what a toddler bed does, and then some type of reward system.
Okay.
I don't know what you would be able to do with that age.
I was telling you, she gets anything she wants anyway. She's spoiled rotten.
But something like, I don't know, stay in your bed until... I don't even know how you could explain it to her. Like, how can you explain, like, stay in your bed until this light turns a color, and then you get this big sucker, She'd be like...
I'll definitely start doing that when I think she can understand me. And maybe she can understand me. She just can't talk back, so I don't think she can. I feel like she's still so little. She's just a little baby. Cullen, what's going on? Why is she so grown up? Why is she so grown up? Now, I'll tell you what I did for the bean today. I call Lily the bean. This is the bean. Hey, everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that.
Hey, little bean.
Chunky little face. Hello. She doesn't really like the light, so I'm going to turn around. But... Today I got her just got in the mail a Jolly Jumper. And I don't know if y'all, bouncers for babies. I'm sure everybody listening has had or seen or know what a bouncer is. Well, this is a bouncer, but it's like a really cool, like, bigger, I don't know. It's like this bouncer with this stand, and then you don't have to, like, hook it to the door frame like most.
I was about to say, it's a Johnny Jumper.
Okay.
is what they used to call them, but that was the door frame.
Yeah, it was a door frame, you know, those kind of bouncers. And then you have the bouncers that you just sit them in and they have toys around them. So I've got all those. None of them, she's not interested in any of them. So I was like, well, maybe I've seen on that YouTuber, Britany and Baby.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen her use that. This is where I first saw it. And I was like, oh, that's awesome with her little daughter. And she just seemed like she was always in there. Every time I saw her post a story or something, because I follow her on Instagram. And every time I saw a story of hers, that baby's in the background and that bouncer. And I was like, she must really like that bouncer. So anyway, now that she's kind of a little bigger, I was like, maybe I should, and she doesn't like the other ones. I was like, maybe I should try to get her one of those. So I did, and I put it together this morning. And, you know, it takes a lot to impress Lily Bean.
She's like, yeah, I heard my name.
But I put her in there. I mean, she didn't cry. She seemed to like it. It kept her entertained for a minute, you know, for a few minutes anyway. I think Sophia was more interested in it than she was.
Isn't that crazy? The older kids are always like wanting to revert back to the baby.
Yes.
Kids
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Sophia's all about climbing in her bassinet and sucking on her pacifiers and being the baby. Like, she sees her get attention and she wants that attention.
Totally.
So anyway, I've got her a Jolly Jumper today. If anybody has one of those or an experience with the Jolly Jumper, let me know. Leave it in the comments. But I'm excited to see kind of what that does for her, if she can start.
It's a matter of just like figuring it out. Yeah, and like just keep putting her in there and showing her how it works and stuff.
I feel like she's a little slower with everything. Like, she's slower with facial expressions. Like, she's 4 months old and just now starting to really smile sometimes.
Right.
Where Sophia was doing facial expressions and smiling and stuff at 2 months. So
you're probably a lot more in her face, Sophia's, just because you don't even realize it. It's interesting too how the kids, like Brooks especially, he's like, he knows when he's just bouncing off the walls, and knows. This morning he came into my room as I was getting ready and making the bed up, and that's another routine Katie's tried to start doing in the morning, is going upstairs with them before they even come downstairs and making their bed up, because it's always so rewarding and refreshing to walk back into your room at night to a made up bed.
Yeah, that's for everybody.
Yeah, so she's been doing that. And yesterday morning, Brooks comes down by himself when his light turned red, and he came down and he was like, "Daddy, come look at my bed. I made it up all by myself."
Oh.
And he literally did. It was kind of a little crooked, and he picked all the toys off of his floor, and, you know, he put the pillows on first, and he like made like a tower. He even had a stick that he brought in from outside and stuck it on top.
What do you think he's going to do when he grows up? He's got the most creative little personality.
He's going to be a freaking track runner star or something. This morning
something crazy.
He said, "Daddy, can you come downstairs with me into the basement so I can get my energy out?" And we've got 2 extra mattresses downstairs. And I laid the mattresses down and just let him just plow, like just run and plow through them. And I made like an obstacle course for him and that kind of thing. But anyway,
he is hell on wheels. I'm telling you. He's a big ball of energy. I wonder if he's going to be like that his whole life.
Probably,
you know?
Yeah. Hopefully it'll calm down once he gets a little more meat on his bones and just like starts to try to get him to keep his belly full and that kind of stuff. But poor Bean.
Oh, Beanie just doesn't know what to do with this.
Bean.
She doesn't remember how to do this, do you? You know, we did this with Sophia when Sophia was this age, and I used to have her, and I'd bring her over to your house when we were doing the podcast over there, and this is the same age Sophia was, where she was just like, not about it. Let's see if she likes
all the time. Oh my goodness!
Whoa, look at that! If y'all are watching, this is some good quality uncle time right there. Oh, are you smiling for Uncle Cullen?
Who's that?
All right, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit today, folks, and we're going to talk about this for a few minutes, but we're going to wrap it up soon because obviously, you know, we got other people demanding my presence. I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight. So today is Tuesday, and it's the election, the first debate of 3 between Trump and Biden, 2020 election.
Is there even going to be one tonight, do you think?
Why would? Yeah, there is. There's supposed to be. Why?
There's supposed to be. I don't know. There's all this debate of, will there be a debate?
Why? Why would there not be? You think somebody's going to, like, back out?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like... God, it's gonna be interesting. No, there is gonna be one, obviously, but
yeah, there's got to be. There's
just
no way you can back out
like,
now.
Is there really gonna be a debate?
Now, personally, I think this is gonna be hilarious. I mean, you know, for me, I think it's gonna be very entertaining. And I don't really watch a lot of politics stuff, and I'm not really into it. I can hear a little bit, you know, on the news. I watch the news every morning. I try to. And so I'm interested to see what happens. I think the main thing that they're going to be talking about, and I'm pretty sure whatever his name is, the commentator or whatever, the moderator. That's it. I think he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace is going to have his work cut out for him for sure. But I think like the main topics, right, are going to be Trump taxes.
Okay, so before you go any further,
$750, Joel. That makes me so mad. If I was going to vote for him before, I'm not now.
All right, so
because that just pisses me off. Cheater, pumpkin eater.
Before we go any further, let's. There is a presidential debate drinking game that everybody at home can play tonight.
Oh snap!
So at the start of the debate, before it even starts, if you paid more than $750 in income taxes last year, take a drink. So there we go. Everybody could probably just go ahead and shotgun a beer, and that way we'll get the debate started. But
dang.
I got a lot of little tidbits right here if y'all want to get sloshed watching this debate tonight.
Put your kids to sleep first now. Don't get started early.
So you can take one drink anytime Trump says tremendous, China flu, or Kung flu. You can take a drink anytime he says fake news.
Oh, that's going to be...
Like, how we're going to be hammered. We're going to be hammered in the first minute.
Fake news.
You can take a drink anytime he says, or a sip maybe. I don't know if it's a drink because, rigged, or excuse me.
Yeah.
Or you can take a drink anytime he says anything about creepy women.
What about anytime Joe Biden fumbles on his words?
Then comes the Biden stuff. Anytime Biden mentions Obama... a mask says something incoherent,
right?
Doesn't complete a full sentence. Take a drink.
Okay.
Anytime he says anything creepy about women, or let's see, Jill and I guess that's his wife, or his is that his wife? I don't know. So there's different ways to get
what a world
hammered.
We live in, huh?
If Trump says he's the biggest, best, greatest, most incredible at something, call a random number in your phone and tell that person what you're the greatest at and hang up, then take a drink.
However many times Biden says countless lives could have been saved, you know?
If Fauci or COVID is mentioned, go ahead and chug a beer.
Science.
Yeah, everybody tonight is going to be hammered.
I don't think everybody's going to play this game you got going on, Cullen, but it's going to be interesting for sure. I think the main topics are going to be like the pandemic, obviously, the taxes, obviously. Go figure that bombshell got dropped. All 4 years, everybody's been looking for Trump's taxes. All of a sudden, right before the election, here it is. But that pissed me off. Then the pandemic, the healthcare is going to be an issue, I think, and what else? I mean,
I think it's going to be interesting to watch how, and it's just, I guess, politicians in general, how they deflect a question and talk about something completely different.
That's why I hate watching debates, because it's just a bunch of bullshit.
Take a drink if they are asked a specific question about something and completely talk about something completely different.
Yeah, that right there would get you hammered. I mean, completely deflect. That's what they're taught to do. And it's just frustrating for me as a viewer, as a citizen, as a voter. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, answer the freaking question. So I'm already like prepping myself to get kind of aggravated
with everything that's been going on with the COVID, with the Black Lives Matter. That's another one. If Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Jacob Blake.
Oh yeah, that was the other one that I was thinking.
Ahmaud Arbery are brought up. Donate the cost of your beer or more to the NAACP, ACLU, or social justice organizations, just to be sure you support a black-owned brewery near you. The amount of different topics that are potentially going to come up, that will come up, are going to be crazy. I watched a thing where Trump went and sat and just got bashed by
people.
He got questioned.
I saw that.
You saw that? Yeah, he was like...
I thought that he kind of was more humanized. Like he seemed like he was more down to earth and just talking like a regular Joe instead of this
sorry
proud.
you think that, but here's what I think.
I actually liked him more in that interview.
He realized he couldn't be so defensive and off-putting.
These are people.
And there were some that were just like throwing some crazy, like, straight up accusations at him, like, or, just like, why did you do this? Or why did you say this?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Why did you lie directly to the, as far as the COVID stuff goes? And Yeah, it's going to be
It's a lot of lying. A lot of lying.
The ratings are going to be off the charts because it is going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think. I don't know.
I'm just ready for it to be over.
I actually bet it's
One way or
actually
the
going to be
other.
a lot more tame than we're hyping it up to be.
You think so?
I think they're going to both come out because, like you said, I think it's the first of 3, and then they're going to come out, and it's just going to be like, just get by this first one, just nice and easy.
I hope that it's not just bash each other. I hope that it's like actually talking about what they want to accomplish in the next 4 years instead of like for them set like what they're about more than it is just talking shit about each other. That's what I'd personally like to see. Now I'm not gonna hold my breath for that, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little.
I'm wanting somebody to say this is why I'm going to be the best president of the United States of America. Not like this is why I want.
Let's get down to it.
Yeah,
not how you didn't not point the finger back and forth. Oh, you didn't do this well. You didn't do this. Like, let's talk about what you want to accomplish for both sides. That's what I think. I don't know.
There's also a bingo game
Call
that
me
you
crazy.
can download out there too, so that would be fun too. We should do that, like a virtual debate bingo.
Right, I need a babysitter. I'm gonna get sloshed watching this. No, I mean it's whoever you want to vote for, whatever your decision is, it's going to be entertaining to watch. That is for sure. So,
in celebrity news, real quick, did you see The Rock came out?
Came out.
He came out the other day backing Biden, and he made an Instagram video a long time ago, or a couple months ago, I guess, talking about, he's like, where the hell is our president? It was right when the riots were happening and stuff. And it was like, where is our commander in chief? We need the backbone and the support. Basically called out Trump for like not stepping up to the plate, even though in some eyes he was, and this, that, and the other. But I didn't expect him to come out with another video endorsing Biden.
Huh, that's
100%. Yeah, like what's that going to do to his reputation and going down the road and his brand deals and,
his I mean, like that's the thing. Everybody's worried about their reputation or saying the wrong thing, or like everybody, like because these days it seems like everybody's so divided that if you say, hey, I go for one or I go for the other, then you're going to lose half of the people that are your fans.
Right,
like you're going to lose all these people because they take it personally. Like when did we start taking these things personally? Why can you not have an opinion and I have an opinion and then we still get along? We can still be friends. You don't have to delete me off Facebook if you found out through the grapevine that I like.
Never understood that in my life. Maybe the way we were raised or something.
This is why, folks, you don't talk about it.
But I never understood that because I remember when after we got out of college and just started to get newlywed, started my office job where there was like the water talk cooler and you're drinking. It was my first time to drink coffee and stuff. Around this election time or just in politics in general, it was like, you'd just kind of side whisper and be like, "Don't talk about that around that guy."
Yeah.
He would really, and then you're like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't probably say anything about one way or the other." Like I really don't care. Like I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care
honestly
who you support.
don't care. But like, why can't I just say something if I think it's funny that you're the candidate that you want to? I don't know. Like I just honestly don't get that.
It's like stereotyping at its finest. Yes. It's like if you have an opinion about something, then it seems like a lot of people are just get really like they stereotype you to think that, okay, well, if you like this one thing, then that means you must like everything else. Like if you like vanilla, then you must like vanilla with strawberry in it, vanilla with chips in it, vanilla with. I mean, it's like I don't like any of those. I just like vanilla. You know what I mean? I don't understand why it's all kind of grouped together. And I feel like these days we have this platform, which is our social medias, to give our opinion. And some people are timid and they're, more introverted and they don't talk about it. And some people are very well outspoken and they do want to talk about it and they get heated and fired up about it. And they put their opinions out there into the world because now these days we have a platform to where you can do that. And so you can do it at the comfort of your own home behind a screen. And so you don't have somebody right there debating you and are, trying to make you see things their way or whatever. It's just like my way or the highway is how people think.
Yeah.
This is like, I literally feel like I'm the Social Dilemma. Did you watch that?
I haven't finished it. No.
And I hate Netflix. Cancel Netflix right after this. Go watch that. And then
I was about to say,
Netflix.
it's like the cancel culture in general. Like you mentioned one thing about your favorite politician, and it's like, cancel that dude because I don't agree with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of, I'm like supporting it in the same sentence because it's like, but I don't know. That's a different story. The whole Netflix and the cuties and cancel Netflix movement because of that video.
Oh,
that's what I was talking about.
One.
Yeah. Hashtag cancel Netflix.
Sex trafficking of the kids.
Yeah, that's crossing the line. You know what I mean? Like anybody that wants to talk about that, you can delete yourself.
Didn't
out
they
of my
use
life
like
completely.
some child actors in that and stuff?
Yeah, that's why everybody's Netflix has lost like 90 million users because they put that that little pedophile movie out on Netflix.
Oh my god! I remember hearing about it through the grapevine last week, but I've been so busy I just haven't.
It's. I mean, I've never seen it. Obviously, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna support it. Like we've canceled our Netflix subscription. It's just like hadn't canceled yet. We still have a few more days left. But I mean, that's just like unacceptable to me. There's like crossing the line. There's some things that I just can't look past. But I did watch The Social Dilemma, and it is very, thought provoking. It's like you're a puppet, you know what I mean? And like there is a lot of fake information and misinformation on the social media sites, and like people will read something and then automatically take it for the truth because let's be honest, people are lazy. And you see something that says, like the Trump taxes. I didn't go verify that. I saw something on Facebook that said Trump only paid $750 in taxes and hadn't paid in 10 years, and he's a billionaire and whatever. He wants you to tax you and him not have to be held to the same standard and all this. And I'm reading an article like fired up, like F that guy, man. I paid way more than that, and he makes more. Like this is bullshit. He's the president. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm getting fired up about it. But like, have I gone and fact check that? Have I actually seen the document? So it talks about in that Social Dilemma. We're gonna have a podcast, like a whole podcast on that once you watch it. But it's like what is the truth? If you don't have the truth, then you have mayhem.
Right.
Like
that reminds me of a post I saw somebody post. It may have been Philly D talking about these Instagram models that were ousted or outed
for fake plane.
Yeah, they had like a freaking studio set up in L.A. and then they were
all
busted.
An illusion.
And then they were like talking about how they would just go get the bags from Louis Vuitton and act like they went on a shopping spree by posting on Instagram with these bags that aren't even filled with anything.
Right, filled with your Walmart bag stuff.
And just the whole perception. And Katie even saw a Yahoo headline the other day that were like, voting is down in Utah, all these states based on because
they think that it's going to be rigged or
something. No, it was politically driven due to COVID or something. The correlation between the politics and then the cases of COVID are due to something about like there were more Republican voters in those states, and that's why the cases are higher in those states or something. It was
like if you're Republican, you'll get COVID.
How is this even a headline on Yahoo News right now? Like, you can't believe anything.
Here's the thing is that people are a lot dumber than we give them credit for. I think that we just think that everybody's either like our level of intelligence or higher, right? Because I don't think of myself as very intelligent. I'm just like an average Joe.
And
to be honest, I'm probably like middle of the pack or higher. There's a lot that are a lot more gullible, and
like Dad always said, there's more than one way to polish a turd. We're all a bunch of polished turds out there, right. Especially on Instagram and stuff. But
man, I'm just ready for it to be over. I'm ready for this election, and let's figure it out. Who's it going to be, and then let's try to I hope for our own sakes, for our kids' sakes, that we're not so split, we're not so divided, that people can get back to still loving you if your opinion's different than mine. I can still love you for a million other reasons if you don't agree with me on one politic or one issue.
This is the most
I just hope we can get back to
charged election that I can remember in forever. And I think shit's only going to hit the fan harder after all this is said and done, one way or the other.
Yeah,
shit is going to hit the fan.
I hope it calms down a little, Cullen, because there's plenty of shit on the fan already, and I'm sick of cleaning it up.
Oh
say
my
that.
gosh! All right, well, let's get these kids to bed. Does she ever fall asleep over there?
No, she's
just chilling?
playing. She's playing. She's being really good. She's playing with her little doll castle, her little princess.
Having her independent rest time.
It's this one that's ready to go.
Oh my
baby.
goodness!
Let's go, Jolly Jump.
All right, Jolly
Thank
Jump
you guys
it out.
for listening.
Episode 119 in the books.
That's right.
Let us know who you're voting for in the comments, or don't. Who
And
cares?
don't drink and drive tonight.
Yeah, have fun. We will see you all in the next one. Don't tell mom.
Peace.